During launch, a rocket, like the Apollo rockets, will take off from the pad at sea level. Once it is in the atmosphere, the bottom section breaks off and the second stage starts. After the second stage is done, the final stage is activated. There are multiple reasons for this, most notably to ditch the dead weight of the empty sections. But there is another, less well-known reason for this, and that is because of the engine efficiency. Bell nozzle engines are not altitude compensating, meaning that the engines designed for sea level will be inefficient in the upper atmosphere and vice versa. There is, however, a type of engine that is altitude compensating and, while not as efficient at any one altitude, has consistent efficiency in all altitudes, even in the vacuum of space. This engine is the Aerospike engine. This engine looks like an inverted bell nozzle. The exhaust, once ejected, follows the path down, hugging onto the spike that is protruding out, hence the name Aerospike. The way it works is simple. When the exhaust leaves the engine, it wants to spread out in all directions, but can't because of air pressure. When fully optimized, 100% of the thrust points down, thereby giving you the most thrust. But in higher altitudes with less air, the thrust begins to expand outwards, and less force is pointed down. The Aerospike design helps the thrust to hug the spike itself, and the thrust almost always points down, and doesn't bow out. There have been different versions of this engine, where the spike is either cut to make it less pointed, or designed to stretch the engine out, allowing more thrust. While there are some technical issues with the engine, such as the intense heat of the spike, there are lots of benefits. One benefit is that you don't need to use expensive heavy gimbals to move the engine. All you have to do is temporarily shut down one side of the engine to turn. However, the best benefit is the fact that it does not lose efficiency. This type of engine is best for single stage to orbit rockets, like Lockheed's Venture Star, which was a planned replacement of the shuttle. However, there has never been a large-scale test of Aerospike engines in orbit, with the Venture Star being the closest people have gotten. And even with that, it only performed ground tests. The reason why is the same reason so many other innovative technologies never get used. Companies would rather use what is familiar and not risk experimenting with an engine type that might end up not being as good.